Welcome to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sports.
You're like a circle that floats around me.
Team here, you all in the comments, let me know what you all think. Poke some holes, right? Lord, guys, he's much. Guys, thanks for watching. Lord. All right, time to go. Please tell the people the team that you back to, please.
Well, I can show you. That one right there.
God. I'm going to edit that out in post, right?
Welcome to the Fantasy Pavilion. We go live and... 10. Number 9.
8. Yo! 7.
Number 6.
5.
Entry. Welcome, guys, and welcome back to the Fantasy Pavilion, and welcome to a new segment, FPL CONVO'S. Still working on the name. If you can come up with a better name for me, let me know. I'll appreciate that. And of course, we're doing something different tonight. We're going to have a chat with one of our FPL community members, right? That's a hashtag we overuse on Twitter, hashtag FPL community. And we're going to meet a very special member, a fellow Trini. And of course, his team would have been recently featured on all of Let's Talk FPL, where he was third in the world. He would have dropped a little bit, obviously, because the game week started, but that's a huge deal. And we wanted to have him on the show just to talk to us, let us know his strategy, the emotional roller coaster, why FPL, and just getting to know him. Minding his business, as we would say in Trinidad. All right. So, of course, without further ado, here he is, Dia Hunte. Dia, welcome to the show, bro.
Hi, nice to be a part of the show, man, tonight. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Did I say that correctly? It was Dia, correct?
Yes, Dia.
All right. So before we get into anything, who is Dia Hunte? Why FPL? Let's know a little bit about yourself, not professionally, and of course, why, how long you've been playing FPL, your pedigree and whatnot. Let the people get to know you a little bit.
All right. Well, I mean. I guess the best way to explain myself quickly is in a nutshell. Just somebody that has a complete love for the game of football. From playing football from small, from starting in, primary school all the way to secondary school, to college, to now. We're just always talking football, playing football, being a part of football one way or the other. So in terms of fantasy, I only really started playing fantasy last year. It just started up in a league and I said, all right, I'll play. No, I think if you look at my fantasy profile, I think I started the year before, but I really wasn't paying any attention or anything. But so I would say really last year was the first year I really started to pay a little bit more attention. And then this year I say, well, I'll focus and try to actually play the game properly now. So really in a nutshell, that is me when it comes to, fantasy football. I just really starting up and trying to get a better understanding of the game.
Okay. And do you back any EPL clubs by chance?
Well, yeah, from the name that my team is named after, it should be quite easy for the shirt I'm wearing right now. It'll be Liverpool, LFC.
Yes, I just like people to say their club proudly, but yeah.
Liverpool for sure.
All right, and of course, so before we get into nitty-gritty, what do you So as you're playing FPL, and of course, you're familiar with what's happening right now. How has the COVID issues been? How the injury and not the postponements? How has that been affecting your great run as of late?
I mean, I think the COVID affecting everybody. So I think the key thing is making the right moves and trying to determine, who actually will play by just staying alert when it comes to like any type of news outlet that is credible to try to see, well, who actually could be the ones that's missing out, because COVID, like I say, is really affecting everybody. Man City finally decided to get their wave as well. So I think overall it's just a matter, like I say, trying to figure out who you have as a backup, because you always need to try to make sure your team is structured in a way where you could, you have some sort of a backup plan, like something or somebody does, contract COVID-19, because that's something that everybody, like I said, dealing with, but it's real pressure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's no, as you said you would have started a year ago. So what encouraged you to stay? Was it that enjoyable? And who do you use? Who's some of the YouTubers or FPL content creators that you used to help improve
Um,
your play?
I use quite a lot. There's a guy, Simply FPL. Let's Talk FPL. Everybody's aware of who. There's also, let me see. I actually have a, if I go to my YouTube, we'll tell you, because there's quite a few FPL tips. So I'll kind of search through different people and see what they have out there. And then also Twitter. There's people on Twitter. I'll probably just look and see. Mainly, to be honest, to see what's up with injuries. That's the key thing. Trying to see who's actually hurt, who's available to play. But there's a lot of good content creators out there that you can stumble upon. But mainly, Let's Talk FPL, Simply FPL, are two of the main guys I really listen to or would look at.
Right, no problem. And what made you stay? So I guess in your first year would not have been a great ranking. But what made you continue with it? What made you stick with it?
I think just for the competitive nature. When we started the league, like I said, I wasn't paying that much attention to it. And then after, all the old talk and men saying, that's why, X, Y, and Z, why you have an excuse why you didn't win. And I said, all right, all right, well, this next year we'll play and let's play for real, So I just say I'll try to engage the game more this year so I can try to see if I can really, play the game better now. So what made me stay would just be to come back and I guess prove in the group that I have the ability to actually, if I play the game, to do well.
And that you have certainly done. So let's start looking at your journey. I have everything up here one time. So before we get into this, right? What would have been, so I guess your goal was not so high, right? What was your goal rank heading into the season?
My goal heading into the season is to be number one, to be honest. I went to win, I want to see if I could win. That's always my mentality now. So I was trying to win first, just a 1 league at work, and that was my main goal, to try to win that league and try at least, see if I can do better in any other leagues that I would have participated in. Like the leagues in FPL, all the creators actually have leagues too. Right. So let's join all their leagues and let's see, judge and see how high I could actually get in the league now. So from the start, I was just trying to say, hey, let me see if I can make the right decisions early and try to, keep pace with some of the best players.
Okay. So we have here a game week 1 team. Now, what was your thinking with this team? Why? I mean, you have to go into all the players. What was your key? How do you pick the team? Do you do a spine? And when I say spine, do you do a strong goalkeeper, defender, striker, midfielder, or what was he thinking? Did you look at the fixtures? You went on XG and all these things. Like, what is your main approach? Of course, you'll be getting into that debate, the Dennis and King debate, but we'll see what side you lie on. But what was your approach? This was game week 1.
Yeah.
Season coming up. Were you ready? You prepared? Was this last minute? What was your approach going into game week 1?
Going into game week 1, I was kind of prepared because I would have paid attention to preseason, and also from playing last year, I would have had a better understanding of which players would be more susceptible to be in attacking areas to bring back, the points that you're looking for. Also, look at the teams. I would always look at the teams that's just coming up and see who's hot, because a lot of guys want to come in the league and try to make the name now. So for me, I had Bachmann in goal because he's a pretty good shot stopper. And Watford, I felt like they would have been able to, even if they they had a scoring draw or scoring loss, he would have got a few saves. I went to save some money because I was putting a lot of emphasis in my defense, as you saw there. Liverpool being a strong defense with Trent and Shimikas. Shimikas played very well throughout preseason. He was always impressive and always creating chances. Well, Luke Shaw was England's probably one of the best defenders at the Euros, so he got a pick, to say, well, coming in doing well. Alonso, I kind of had a hunch that he would have played over Chilwell because Chilwell wasn't fully ready to go, and I know Alonso from an attacking standpoint was very good, and Chelsea from a defensive standpoint was very good. So I picked the very good defenders that I felt could have brought back some sort of attacking points as well. So hence why we have Trent, Alonso, and Cancelo early from the start, along with Shaw. Really Shaw should have been giving me something there as well, but he completely is probably the biggest, if not one of the biggest disappointments for the season thus far. So, and then Salah and Fernandes, they got picked automatically from this. That enough said, Mo Salah is the best player in the Premier League at that point in time. Liverpool, attacking wise, always creates chances. He's been the top scorer in the league for, I don't know, the past 4 or 5 years, if not top scorer in the top 3 for sure. And then Fernandes was just really playing real good football. I had looked and scouted because since last year, I always had rumors about him coming to Liverpool. So anybody that's kind of linked with Liverpool, I know would have been decent. And for them to come right back up from going down last year, I picked him because, I kind of had him as a differential and I figured he would have done well. Antonio as well, that's a guy I always kind of, like to have in my team.
Yeah.
As you can see, he's there from inception of this team. But Tony, it was so much talk about Tony. I got sucked into it, but Tony was a last minute pick over. Well, he would have going to make my team, but start, I should say. I was going to start Wilson, and as you saw, I actually lost 4 points at the end of it by sitting Wilson on the bench. But that's all pretty much. I wanted to pick my team because when you look at Tony and Wilson, Antonio, these guys all play in quote-unquote lower, I guess, level teams than some of the more powerful teams in Liverpool, Man United, Man City. And I figure that regardless, those guys are very good players. Those teams, will score 1 or 2 goals. So I already had a good defense, and to me, I had a keeper that wasn't the best, but it helped me to spread my team around, spread money around my team, but still have some pretty solid squad and a good bench. And that was my thinking going starting this whole FPL.
Yeah. And well, as we can see, it paid off well. I mean, maybe not as much as you wanted, but for me, I would be over the moon, right? 109 points there. So not too bad a start. Was that, of course, I know you might be too upset, but were you, given as you explained it, were you happy with this 109?
I was very happy with that 109. I was over the hill because at the end of the day, I just, as much as I want to do well, I don't know, this is my second time really playing the game and now focusing. So I was happy. Alonso scored that week. Trent and Shimikas was able to keep a clean sheet. Cancelo didn't really bring back much for City, but he paid off in the long run. I held on to, Salah. He did his thing. Fernandes did his thing.
Yeah, that was hat-trick day. Yeah.
It was hat-trick day. So those 2 picks was actually really, really, really good. Everything kind of played out now.
Yeah.
So that was good. That was pretty much a very high scoring week overall, I think, for the whole of FPL.
Right. So of course, that was game week 1. We won't go into each one, but we're getting up to where your rank started to improve there. So of course, so here we have game week 2. Right, let's see if you would have made much changes. So you would have kept relatively the same team, right?
So the only difference is Rafinha came in for Sa due to fixture changes, and I kept faith in Tony. Basuma's actually only benched with 8 points, which I missed out, but I wouldn't have felt like he would have gotten, which he got. I think they had a victory, which he had a assist and a clean sheet. So that's kind of 6 points lost with picking Tony over him, but I didn't feel like Tony was going to miss out 2 games back to back now. But I think at this time Wilson was hurt and Sa had a tougher fixture than the other guys. So that is why I went with that squad. Rafinha brought back some dividends
Some
too.
returns, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So we going all right, not too bad. Moving along. And this by this time you just saying all right. Now of course you dropped from 109 to 72. Disappointed or you say you're telling yourself, well, all right, that's all that's in it.
I telling myself, good job. If I can keep an average about 70 points, 70,
Right.
between 70 75, I did real good. And I already had 109 and now 172. So that done put me at probably like what, 183 for 2 game weeks. That's not bad at all. I was happy. I was like, we just trotting along.
All right. So game week 3 now.
Yeah.
Right. So 69 in total. We put well, I guess Sa would have been subbed on for someone, right?
Yeah.
Or Sa was right. So Antonio Calvert, right? You did what I did too, because I chased Calvert, love Calvert Lewin.
Yeah.
Right?
So what? Yeah. Sa came on for Shimikas. Shimikas went to the bench because Robinson was on his way back anyways, and I wanted to have more attacking players on the field because I figured they had a chance. Rafinha had already scored last game week. Sa scored first game week. I had a blank, so I figured, what, more opportunity with the forward players. So once I have Salah and Fernandes there, those two guys kind of to me would be more automatic go-to if I really need points. And Antonio, I made a very, very gutsy call and putting him because you see us, no matter what, Salah keep getting points. So, but he was still able to get 2 more points than Salah anyway. So that kind of helped me to boost because that was a differential where everybody would have been putting their captain on Salah. Yes. I would have gotten Antonio and still gotten 2 points even if you did have it on Salah. So that kind of helped in your rank going up as well.
It took me till about game week 6 to start captaining Salah. It was between Vardy and Antonio. So see how you have Lewin, they had Vardy at the time. So Vardy, Antonio, because they were hot in the first few game weeks. So yeah, I understand where you're coming from there. So that was a good point. That was a good one.
Yeah.
All right. So we back up again, 74. So this is game week 4 now. Yeah. Cruising through. So you made a horrible mistake by putting an Arsenal man in the team, but you'll explain why. And then we'll go. I'm an Arsenal man, and I tell it when we started this show, Dia, I told people do not put any Arsenal man in your team. I'll tell you when. Don't do it too early. Right? So explain why. And I see you brought in Ronaldo, very smart. So talk to us.
Yeah. So I think at this time, but Bachmann is still a keeper from Watford.
Yeah.
But defense I felt was pretty solid. My midfield, I was kind of comfortable with it because Salah was playing well. Rafinha was playing well from the eye test. I figured, I would have been getting something back. Salah wasn't doing too bad. And I felt he was due because now it would have been 2 game weeks. But I kind of try to show patience now in certain players, and I know the opportunity will arise. I was looking at Emil Smith-Rowe as really a way to get Ronaldo. So I needed to get some points. So I just saw Fernandes would have been gone. Smith-Rowe, reason why I got him because one, I saw he was playing really well in the position that Pep had him started off the season playing, and I was like, you know what? He is Arsenal's number 10, and I want to take a punt on him the same way they did. That was my thinking because I didn't really look at him as a number 10 in any way, shape, or form. He doesn't really have that, ability with the ball to say, well, he's that skillful and creating chances and that. But he is something that, Arteta sees in him, why he gave that on to him, and he was in good form. He is a real, true Arsenal player. So I was like, I'm going to take a punt with him. I'll get some money. I'll put the money into Ronaldo. I'll go and captain him. I took a -4. I said, hopefully this pay off. So I captain Ronaldo for that -4. I might as well go all in. And Ronaldo actually brought back 26 great points. Thanks so much, Christy. Because, he just came in and did the business. First game, I think he had 2 goals.
First game.
And then Antonio I was like, oh gosh, Antonio, why are you doing this to us? So he got a -1. So I think that was still a pretty respectable game week because
not too bad at all.
I don't know if Calvin got hurt or what, but Shimika hasn't played and Basuma 3 points. So once again, Basuma bring back 11 points and Antonio at 1, -1 and 2. So But someone on the bench they saying why you need to do to get in the team. But
What to get exactly? All right. So game week 5 now, 84 points. So we looking good now. Points getting better, getting higher now. You right, increasing. Sa on fire. Right. Talk to me. You brought Gibasuma get a chance this time.
yeah, but Sumad played his way into the team, and deservedly so. At that time, Brighton was actually playing, and still I watch Brighton today. Brighton playing very good, solid football, where they create lots of chances. I actually like to watch them play. Alonso did well again. I think he was an early pick, and people started to now trying to come and try to buy him now because he was doing really well for Chelsea down the left side. Cancelo started to gain the groove from an overall team perspective because really it's just a clean sheet with that 6 points. Luke Shaw continued to just be disappointed. But Suma didn't do anything much. Salah was the continuous talisman for the team. Sa, he just had 2 great goals. I was happy. Smith Rowe played well. 3 points is better than 2.
Correct.
And I had some good additions too with Bamford coming in the team and giving me 5 points. So overall, this team, I think once again, I don't think I took any hits at all at that time. No, I already had everything kind of planned out because of the money I would have been able to get. Smith was real cheap at that point. Smith Rowe, I think, was about 5-1 or something like that. So I got him in real early. And he started, as you see the game was go along, he actually started to bring back some good scores for us.
Yeah, he did. He really did.
Yeah.
All right. Not too bad. So we're moving along here. So when, obviously, your rank climbing.
Yeah.
Right? It started off really good. Obviously, we can't see the climb from here, but you would know. I mean, you'll have a vague idea, right?
Yeah.
Your rank was climbing. And you was expecting to jump so high, or like based on what was wrong you at this time, or still early days, you just do anything, minding your business?
Still early days, just doing my thing, minding my business, drinking my water, and just hoping for the best, This game we hurt me real bad because I put Salah on the bench because Chelsea played
that week. Yes.
So I lost 12 points. This was when the butterflies went in my belly like, wait, my gosh, the same nonsense again I was doing last year, just not paying attention. Which is what happened here. I really didn't think things through. I didn't understand. There's certain strategies that I know of and understand now that I would have never allowed this to happen because I really betted against Chelsea beating Man City. That's what I did.
Right.
You know what I mean? But even with Chelsea winning that game, which they did, Man City won when Cancelo actually had, I think, assist in that game and a clean sheet. So he may have scored, I'm not sure. But it really affected me because I was like, wait, boy, I should did he score or assisted?
Assisted, yeah. What clean sheet, assist, and bonus. Yeah. So licks.
Bonus points. So that 12 points hurt me. And I was like, wait, boy, because I got 61 points and I think the average, what the average was. The average
43.
Was so I was still well above average, about 14 points. And it kind of, I was like, could I get a little bit more? Because Shaw, once again, that's when Shaw was in my mind, like for sure, he not on my team no more. That was it for me and Shaw. Because I felt like Man United played, I think they played a lesser team, and I put faith in Man United winning that game with a clean sheet, and it didn't happen. So, but if really and truly at this point in time, I really wasn't making much transfers. I was just moving around players. Saint Maxima, to me, at that time, I was watching him. I was just like, this man is real trouble, boy. This man, I need to get this guy into my team. No matter what, I figure Newcastle could lose 5-2, he will be involved in them goals. You know what I mean? Like, you must face. And then Smith Rowe now had started to pay me back for my faith. The same way Arteta had he paid back Arteta the same way now, because I was looking at it like, you see, I know this guy would bring, something for Arsenal now, because Arsenal was hungry. Arsenal was hungry and needed to win. And I was looking for the right player. Odegaard was on my mind too, but another guy in the group was thinking about Odegaard. I said, you know what, I'm going to go with Smith Rowe. And Smith Rowe actually did real good in this team. If you look at this team, it's really Maxima, Antonio, Rafinha, Sa, Smith Rowe. Ronaldo, 4 points.
Yeah, because he's captain.
Yeah, sure. So if I had the extra 12 points, I'd end up with 73, which I'd have been a lot further ahead. Even now, because
Yeah,
points,
true.
So,
These points in the early is crucial.
yeah.
Crucial.
So one of the key things, I know, as always say, and if that was me playing this team again, Cancelo definitely would have started, and because there's certain things I know now. You just try to make sure you play your best players no matter what, and you try to have. So if something goes wrong, somebody come off the bench to replace them. But if they're on the bench and they do well, you just so whoever you feel is the best player for that day, pick him, and then if something go wrong, well, you have a backup. But you don't want something to go right because certain players benching them could really hurt you.
Yeah, it definitely hurt you for sure.
Yeah.
So game week 7. So a bit of a dip.
A terrible point. It was terrible.
Right.
I think overall, look, the average point was 38, right? So
Yeah.
everybody at this time would have been probably COVID. It would have been Cancelo them just getting the tail cut, getting 0 points. Show once again.
I think this was probably the Crystal Palace week. I think so. Was it our week? Well, I think it was that. Yeah, I think so.
Well, I think the only reason why Shaw probably been the team because you see the both Alonso and Shimikas wasn't playing.
Yeah.
Cresswell, 2 injuries kind of humbug him the whole season. So really, thanks to Salah, Ronaldo, tail really do nothing. He got 1 point, only got 2 points. If this here kind of hurt me in my overall rank because I was trying to go in against the grain with going against Salah.
Yeah.
I was like, well, let me see if Cristiano would actually come good because Salah, you're always looking for the opportunity where you get a differential point. If you beat Salah, then you beat a lot of people because he's the most captain person in the game.
Yeah, effective ownership. Yeah, well, we have 2 rules on this channel, bro. Right? Always captain Salah. Repeat rule number 1. Always start Trent. Repeat rule number 2. Simple as that. That was the main thing. But as you said, it makes sense. If you could find somebody to beat Salah, you're in the game. Because you're not gaining much. You're not gaining much from Salah doing good.
No,
right? You're not because everybody has an effective ownership. So yeah, I understand the thought process there.
Yeah.
Right. So bam, we back up, and I see Wildcard played here game week 8. I think everybody around this would have been the international break. I think around then, so everybody would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
So Ramsdale now. So you're bringing more Arsenal assets. In the team. The backline sick.
Yeah.
Well, they try again to beat Foden. Beat Salah with Foden. All right, not too bad. That's what 6 and 6. Not too bad. But people have gotten 26. That is the
exactly. So you see, once again, that would have set me back a little bit, taking that, and at the same time too is a gamer, is a gamble. So taking a chance, and Liverpool is my team, and I still went against. I was like, we're doing that, boy. Stop doing that, but. Foden was in real form, boy, and City. And if I'm not sure who they were playing, but I backed this guy to do good. Foden, and he didn't do terrible, but he had some chances he could have scored too. He had an assist in that game. Lukaku didn't do anything. Mopai didn't do anything. Antonio once again kind of disappointed. At this time, Alonso, I think either he was hurting or Cresswell had just started to come into the team. But he and all wasn't really doing well. So it wasn't a bad game week, but it wasn't the best.
Yeah.
And this time I was just trying to make sure I'm not taking any hits. So, this is, came back and make up for it next game week.
Boom. That is how you make us do. Look at that. So 113 here, game week 9. So let's see the big boy. So, all right, you did this smart thing, Captain Salah.
Yeah, Captain Salah. Right? And same thing. Foden wasn't too far off, and I got Foden.
No, not bad at all. Yeah.
Foden did well, but so he was in my team at that time. Now, early, a lot of people didn't have him yet, so his ownership was it wasn't even probably 10 yet. Smith Rowe once again brought back more points, so he was around.
I think this might have been the Spurs game. I think so. This would have been the derby game. Yeah.
At that time, Smith Rowe, I was happy, man, because he started to really do his thing. He was bringing in, and people didn't have Smith Rowe.
No.
So that helped my rank because, as you would have seen, I would have not captained Salah 2 game weeks, which would have put me down. But the fact that I had Foden and Smith Rowe, they were two very low owned at that time, so that kind of helped to boost me up. Antonio was pretty heavily owned and still is. But Livermore was a good gutsy call, and he was just doing really well. But he came in and I got, through just watching and listening, I picked up and I got him. So this was a really good game week, to keep me pretty grounded.
Yeah, that boost. A very good boost there, for sure, for sure. So by now, you would have remembered your rank. I know you doubt. You remember how high you would have ranked around this time with this big boost?
Right there, 73,000.
Right, you would have ranked. No, I know sometimes that rank and the overall rank would be two different things now. So I know that's what I was saying, yeah.
Like that's true, but I wasn't sure exactly what was my rank there, to be honest. I was watching more, just trying to maintain. I was figuring, let me see where I'm at. Game week 10 was actually a game week. I wanted to see where I was, but I wasn't too concerned yet. I know it had a very long way to go.
Of course. And of course, you were the smartest of the both of us. I did not have James as yet. Took me very long to bring James. Right? So James, 21 points, beautiful. He's safe the whole backline there because the rest in Ramsdale, James, and Livermore. Not too bad at all. Same midfield. Right? And nothing thrown away on the bench. So this one was a tight one, and James would have been the savior.
Yeah, James, I would have gotten James ahead of a lot of managers. A lot of people went for Chilwell too already.
Yes.
And Chilwell was already doing well, so it kind of took people away from looking at James. And on the bigger forums, they were actually talking about Chilwell more. So I actually wanted James in my team from the start, but he wasn't well.
Yeah.
So when he came in and he did this well, I was very, very, very ecstatic. Ramsdale started to pay back because when I did my wild card, I brought him in. I looked at Arsenal fixtures and also his form. Livermore stayed in the team, and then of course by that time Cancelo and Trent was never going to come out. Right. So I was now starting to change my team around to where Ramsdale would have been my starting keeper going forward. Cancelo, Alexander and James would have been my back three to start with, and if anybody else has a decent fixture or I feel a hunch, I'll start them in defense. But I started to now change, so probably go into more 3-4-3 because I would have been picking ahead, looking at different things at this point in time. Now, right now, I'm playing this formation, but a lot of times when I make transfers, it's because I'm trying to make changes in my overall approach to the game.
All right. You brought up something there I'll ask you about in a bit. All right. So Ramsdale again. So game week 11, right? Game week ranker 56K. So you're climbing up. Yeah. Alexander. So the backline did great. Keeper to defenders did great. This is what you want to see. You want to see double digits on these guys. So brilliant here. Captain Salah again. So this is when you went through that assist patch. He wasn't scoring. He was just assisting. I remember this patch very well.
Yeah.
Right? Very well. So Smith, the midfield not too bad. Rafinha doing his thing because he was solid too. He was quietly solid. People weren't really taking him on too much. He was very quiet doing his thing.
Yeah.
And I see you fell into the Brentford trap. Right?
Was kind of he was a real punt. Once again, I had my eyes on certain things coming up, and he was very cheap. So you would have seen now went from being 5 in the back now to 3 in the back and now 5 in midfield. So I kind of had him. I got in on Wilson very early too, because I know his price would have gone up, and I wanted to get some of that price increase to go with me. So I took a risk on him and Mbemu, if I'm saying that correct.
Yeah, Mbemu.
Yeah, I figure Tony. Oh gosh, boy, if you see Tony, one of the guys that stay in the team the longest, and he wasn't playing bad, but he wasn't having them in as I would have thought. So the game, Livermore actually has 6 points on the bench, and I was like, it happens. I started on the bench as well, right? So that is, it's not bad.
It's around 4 points there because Ramsey gave it 7. Yeah, it would have hurt more if Ramsey gave me 2 points. Yeah, I know that would have sting.
Yeah, that would have sting more. But the fact that Ramsey still was being solid, that was cool because I first time some people anyway. So I ain't worried about that.
But the thing is that the thing with I understand. Trust me, I understand the patience thing because I had some people, I had fellas in my team way too long. But I understand. Sometimes it
Yeah.
pays off because they're humans too, so you have to wait on them and give them a chance. You know, as you say, it's a gamble. You know.
Yep.
So in the back, solid again, except for Ramsey, but solid. I mean, keepers are there to concede, right? So we lucky when they get big points. The defenders are great. James again, Trent. And as you said, Trent and Cancelo would have been nailed in my now. If we didn't have Trent, Cancelo, Salah in the team, give up. Don't
Yeah.
bother playing at that time. Because that
Yeah.
was the way to keep up with the pack, I should say. Right? And well, your boy finally came up, Trump saying, let's see what he did this wrong. So he scored a goal. Right? He would have scored a goal. I think this was the penalty. It would have probably been the penalty that I think he had. And so can I remember he had a penalty. So this was when Tony would have scored 3 here. So nothing much here, but that would have been the only big difference.
Yeah.
And well, he tried to get away from Salah.
Yeah, but but it still was decent, but really should captain one of the defenders.
Yes. I know some people have did that throughout the season. They would have captained Cancelo off and on. Yeah. All right. So 56 game week 13 coming up there. So again, Ramsdale, the back not too hard. Pinnock, right? Clean sheet. Trent. Salah. So you're back to captain Salah and you brought in Dennis. So talk to me about that one. You brought in Dennis.
Yeah, I brought in Dennis real early too. I was watching Dennis play and just figure away, boy. Nah, same thing like Sid Maximum. And he actually take over that from me because he went into some form, and I just figure like he would have bring back some points. So I dived in on Dennis very early and got him for about, I think when I bought Dennis, he was 5.1 million. I think he's the highest price raise in the whole game today. So he, to me, was just in real form, real skillful, creating every single time Watford came forward. He looked dangerous. So the only thing I was worried about Dennis about was getting yellow cards. He seemed to just like to pick up yellow cards. So that's the only thing. But overall, I was just I make moves based on what I'm seeing currently and what's being updated. Like I say, I pay close attention to the news and stuff like that.
So does this mean you are pro Dennis versus King, or your eyes was strictly on Dennis? King wasn't even a factor.
I really like King. That's the funny thing. Even when King was playing for Bournemouth, but Dennis for me, I went with him because King was actually being spoken about more. He was actually more owned, so I wanted to try once again. All right, this guy here is less, and then what I am seeing is what I want right now for my team. So up to today, Dennis is my team. I bring him back. So something about I like the way he plays.
Yeah, I'm with you. Right, so see me 14, 68 points. Let's see so it would have been a scatter of points here. Captain Son, brilliant. Brilliant. So Son is back in the team here.
Yeah, Son came in the team and actually not brilliant because Salah had 15 without the captain.
Without the captain. So yeah. True.
And once again, I kept, if I didn't take some of these chances or these risks early, I would have been, as you see, I would have had a lot more points because I really and truly Salah, a lot of people who are ahead of me now, they would have been captain in Salah the whole time, right? So you take a chance and this happened. But overall, Smith Rowe continued to do well. Rafinha continued to do well. Wilson brought back more points. Dennis was on the bench with 9 points. That was the problem, and I was real vexed with myself because I was like, wait now, why? Sometimes you make decisions and you think about it after. I was like, why Dennis was last on my bench? I mean,
so was it that you were afraid of the fixture?
I was looking at they were playing Chelsea, but I really and truly, he was a guy that was in form, so he had more probability of scoring than I think at that time Foden wasn't, like you see, he didn't play, James didn't play. So even if I didn't put him on the end of the bench, he probably would have came on, because he is where he plays guys on the bench to determine when they come off and all that.
Yeah.
But that's all good. So overall, there, if I captain Salah, there's an extra 15 points. Dennis Add that
That's 83 points roughly there. Dennis would have been like
like
92
24
roughly.
points.
Yeah.
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 Exactly. So still a good team though. My team was still, in my opinion, was getting points, and I had a good team, so I could have a good group of players to pick from.
Yeah. Especially for your midfield. For midfield to do that, that's what they want. I mean, it's not double figures right through, but you want that. You want that contribution in the midfield. So yeah, that's good numbers here. Right, 15 coming up the road there. So 73 points. Of course. So let's see who we so again spread out nice. This time Son did what Son does.
Yeah.
So you would have banked again the gamble paid off. Which
Yeah.
would have only made sense. Son is a guy of consistency, and you tried and you banked on that consistency and it paid off well. So that was the planning?
Yeah, my planning was, you know what, I gave his son 2 game weeks. The last one didn't pay out. Well, I'm going to try him again. If Salah beat him, well then I know I'm going to go back to anyways. So I really just said I'm going with son one more again. It helped me because what I would have lost last week, I kind of gained this week. So this I had a good green arrow this game week actually. So this helped me overall. But I'm not sure who. If there was any points on the bench, nothing really. That's two and Dennis. James, I think Chelsea lost, and that's why he has 0 points up there. I'm not sure if he.
No, I think this would have been all him, I think he did something. So yeah, the goal and the yellow card. So that would have what? Yeah, I remember it had a few times. Yeah, but they lost to West Ham, right? That's when Masiaku scored that crazy goal. Yeah.
So that kind of. But I mean, overall, once again, my rank, I was maintaining a good average. That's what I was looking for. Once I maintain a good average score, because I was really. I think at this point, this game week 15, I'd only taken one hit, 1 -4.
Right.
So it was a lot of planning involved. At that time, I see Lamptey already in my team as well. Another player because the way Brighton was playing, they were playing him almost as a third striker. But he's a dangerous player and he was cheap, so he would have been able for me to move some money around and get some, decent around on the bench as well.
All right. Game week 16 now, so 69 points. Ramsdale 11. Trying to remember what game would have this would have been the Southampton game, right? So Ramsdale, Trent, Cancelo again, James. Now I remember. Now, you see this patch here? So I will never forget that the West Ham game, the night before the West Ham game, never the night, the morning of 2 a.m. I was messaging a friend, and I was like, "Yo, I want to get rid of James," and he was like, "No, you have to have Trent, Cancelo, James. Trent, Cancelo, James." I was like, "No, I think it's time to get rid of James. I want to bring in somebody like an Ignori or something, or start Cody. I had Cody for a while, but I keep benching him. So like, you know what? I'll start Cody and leave James on the bench. Started doing that, and that helped me out because James that went on a slump for a while. And I see you here, bro. I'm Tomayasu. So again, the defense switching around. You trying to find a solid defender here. So double up Arsenal again here. And you would have gotten rid of ESR, so Bernardo came in, so you would have started watching Bernardo, seeing.
Yeah, Bernardo. When I usually at this time I had the ability to make 2 substitutions because I didn't make any subs, and Bernardo was in real form, and I started to pay more attention to game week rank and stuff now. I'm not sure my rank was to go up, at least in Trinidad. I was like, wait, boy, I need to get Bernardo because certain people around me have him and he's doing real good, and I don't want to go on
drop
something instead. So I went there and got him and Foden, kept Salah. And my 3 strikers at this time I was comfortable with. Antonio for West Ham. West Ham was playing good. Wilson, to me, is just a real good player. And I figured he'd have got something. And Dennis was in form. So I figured at least I had a decent 11 of possible people that could bring you some game points for me, game week points. And, everybody wasn't doing too bad. Besides James, even
James. Yeah, just James. Yeah. And now the thing with City, of course, you fall into that trap with Pep and his roulette. And of course, it is very difficult to know when and who is going to play. The most kneel-down players would have been Cancelo and Edison, and then eventually Bernardo. Right? It was safe-ish with Bernardo. Right?
Yeah.
It's so bad, that what we do on this channel, we have when we're picking City assets, we have a wheel, a literal wheel, like a prize wheel. Put the players' names on it, and that's how we suggest who to play. And it was right 2 out of 3 times so far. We're going for a fourth time this week here. So, and the one time that we was wrong wasn't wrong. It picked Fernando. He just gave 3 points, but nothing
Okay.
bad. And not saying still not bad. So that's the only way to pick a City asset, unless you're really sure. Unless you and Pep are WhatsApp friends.
Yeah.
Right? All right. So game week 17 here, I see you would have taken a hit here. Yes, we spoke about this.
Yeah, I
Right,
took
we
I
talked about
mean,
it.
that was to bring in Watkins, if I'm not
Right.
mistaken. Yep.
Right. Smart move.
Yeah. Watkins, I was just watching him. He's another player. He was hurt, and then he just came back. He got fit. He was declared fit, and he's a player I really like to. He actually, a guy he could score, he could set up, he could create space for the players. So I kind of figured, like, you know what, let me take a punt and see what happened. And as you can see, it paid off. So the -4 really in this state was really, I ended up with getting 8 points with Watkins coming in, because I didn't think Dennis, we'll see, they had blank games. Cancelo would have been out or something. So I needed to make a move. And Foden did well. Salah did the usual. Smith Rowe continued to bring back points. Most people finally just started to get Smith Rowe at this point, because it was like, what the hell about this man?
Yeah.
Like because a lot of people are not convinced, as I was saying, he's not the number 10 of the past that we know of now. It's like Pulisic. They're not number 10. Number 10 guys collect the ball, bring the rhythm of the team into the bring his influence into the game by changing the rhythm of the team, the way he plays, moving the ball around, getting a lot of touches. They are more forward players that with a lot of pace get into dangerous areas, and they could finish if given the opportunity. So Smith Rowe was doing that at this point in time, and Alexander Arnold doing well. Tambesu I was real happy because he came in aside doing well while Arsenal was doing good. So he kept a good balance. So this was another good game week for me.
And I think this would have been the time when Smith Rowe was getting those mad assists from the bench, because I think Odegaard was starting at this point. So this would have been new. And then I remember that because this is when Bernardo was dipping as well. So people were in two minds. I remember this very well. Right. So game week 18 now. Boom. So 74 points going up the road. Decent game week rank.
Yeah.
Bam. So Cancelo, madness. I think a few people would have, but these would be guys who have those like 8 teams and 11 teams. I know there are a few guys who had the captain on him.
Yeah.
Right. But I remember this game week. Did I have him? I think I did. Right. But I see here you would have gotten the points because of Foden. So brilliant.
Yeah.
I think that's when you would have been on naughty duty. So you would have been down. He was grounded.
Yeah, I actually linked the man who got the video footage of him going to the club now. So I said, make sure you don't play because a vice captain Cancelo was hoping that he don't get on the pitch at all now. So that was the only heartbreaking thing, waiting to make sure Foden didn't get on the pitch. But Cancelo, boy, thanks so much. That really helped. A game week rank, boy.
Brilliant. Let's look at that breakdown. That's look at that. So the bonus, 3 bonus points, clean sheet. The most important thing for any FPL manager, that clean sheet. Goal and assist. That's mad.
Yep.
That's midfield form. That is midfielder form right there. That's Salah form. That's where you want from Salah or De Bruyne. So that was brilliant. Yeah,
that helped me out a lot.
And of course, your backline solid again. Tomiyasu with a clean sheet there. Trent would have gotten clean sheet and bonus, and then James with a clean sheet. So solid. Can't complain at all. I think we're coming up to the big game week soon, right? So game week 19, 42 points here. Ramsdale. Again, sticking with Ramsdale. Yeah, this was a good patch. Again, Smith Rowe, and as I said, this would have been the times where he come off the bench and scoring, because Odegaard would have been starting in front of him against Son. Antonio, probably with some lucky assists again, because this was when he was getting some lucky assists. Oh no, this was a goal, right? Watkins and Ronaldo, nothing in front. And I see here, so I know we coming up to that big game because this monster here was someone who... So explain this, because if you remember the episode, Let's Talk FPL, was baffled, was he was like, wow, this guy had Lanzini in his team. So what possessed you to bring in Lanzini so early?
Well, as you see, if you as we get this is what game week what
This is
19?
game week 19 here, yes.
Yeah, so from then to now, I would have been bringing in guys early. Lamptey would have been one of them. An example of that in my team. Smith Rose, an example of that. Even Foden. So really, Lanzini was just another one. I was looking ahead for West Ham fixtures. There are some really good fixtures coming up, and I was also thinking about the Africa's Nation Cup. I know West Ham have a tendency with Bowen to create a lot of chances and possibilities for penalties. And I knew that Lanzini was one of that was one of the factors. Two, he's a skillful player. He's a really good player. He's also West Ham's number 10. And I know if he's in form, he could play well. And David Moyes and they would have been, what they do is they rest certain players for specific games. The Premier League is one of the most important competitions for them. So he was their guy I was seeing coming after Ben Rama would have been going to African Nations Cup. And I wanted to get him early. A lot of times let's get vibes by guys really early at the cheapest point. So I know when they do hit, the money increases. So Lanzini would not be the same 5.1 I would have bought him.
Right.
Check, keep up a little bit more. So I kind of keep my eyes on certain players and certain situations. And then I would make the call early. I got him very, very early, as you see. He's already on the team, set up for the game week that's coming up. So I know why I wanted him to come into my team.
All right, so let's get into, I think this is the big game week now. This would have been the game week last week. Not yet.
No.
Not yet. Right? So we get in there.
Yep.
So game week 20, 65 points. So I mean, at this point, you would have been pretty high though, right? Because I'm looking on this side. I'm looking on the sides here, right? Let's look. You are number 1 in Trinidad, right?
Yeah.
Let's get it out the way one time, right? In the Liverpool fan group. Now, this is fans in the world, not a random fan group that 20 people made, right? This is in the global Liverpool group. You are 10th, right? I guess it's some classic leagues here that you'll be with some friends with, right? I'm watching somebody YouTube. So FPL Mate, a big content creator, right?
Yep.
You're 5th in that league. That league is huge. I'm also in this league, Ben Foster's league, huge.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
7. And then 1's down the line. This is looking like a CXC scorecard. I wish this was my CXC scorecard. Right? The only thing that looking familiar there for me is the 4. Right? But simply FPL. Again, another big content creator. So it was in the obviously around this time you're high. You're doing really well. You remember your emotions in this game week, like you remember looking at your rank and going, nah. I saw your friends are wrong. You might have was starstruck and all as well too, probably.
I was pleased at this point in time because the strategy that I'd gone with in being patient and giving certain guys a chance started to pay off now. And as I seeing that not just playing for the game week and chasing points. Points just go ahead and buy him and you just jump. You're kind of patting your team to your idea, your thought process, and what you feel is best for your team now. So I was happy. Yeah, certain people in, I guess, different in some of the groups I'm playing in would have been like, hey, congrats, and you're doing well. So at this time, the Wired Lie group, they had won like 2. Lusana Bird, the reporter, there's a group that I'm in there. I forgot the name. I think it's Wired Live Kickers. I'd already won, I guess, the month twice. Right. So at that time, I was seeing like, all right, well, I'm doing well. This is good, So just try to now keep paying attention and hope for the best.
Yeah, and that is the trick, And then to trying to dodge the COVID issues and of course when they canceling games, but we'll get to that. So this would have been the game week here.
Yeah.
That you would have officially been 3rd. So before we dissect the team, I like to talk about psychology. I like to talk about emotion. I like to talk about the mental state. Do you remember when the match day was done and you saw that number 3 next to your name in the whole world. People, I am not good at maths, but 8 million people. Let's get it into perspective. It is 8 million and something plus people playing this thing. And you want you
8.9 million, yeah.
right? You
Almost 9, yeah.
you finish work, you let whatever happen. You might even be watching the games. You come home, you open the phone, that 3 next to your name. What? How much time to reset? You refresh the page.
Actually was number 2 the week before.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, I was number 2, and the guy who's I think he's still number 2 or number 3 right now. He was right behind me, but I don't know. I was, I for myself was very much, I was surprised. I was happy. It was a very, very happy feeling because you know how much people played and how much people sort of actually thinking about how to go about putting your team together. And for Andy to call me out on a show as well,
Yes.
Because I was really, I could have been in the top 10 at that time. I wasn't. I was in top 5, so I was actually, really fortunate to be a part of the show. And Lanzini, as you see in this team here, had went off. I was very close to captaining him actually.
Wow.
Yeah,
I would have been mad. Yeah.
Take a big risk, but I was like, nah, boy, Antonio give us something this game week. Sure, it's a double game week. I couldn't go against Antonio, and it kind of backfired because Bowen came out a lot better. But if I had captained Lanzini, I'd have still come off better than if I had captained Antonio. I'd have been closer.
Correct. Closer to Bowen. Yeah, correct.
But my patience with Lanzini, as you see, paid off once again. So that's why I have a kind of a method in that. So Lanzini now becomes my Smith Rowe, because Smith Rowe is looking to be coming out of my team shortly now. His kind of run kind of go out. So now Martinelli is kind of a guy that is more in a position that if I had an opportunity, I would switch Smith Rowe for. But my team I have a different plan now because, I just made a move this week here. But at this point, I was over the world. I was, at that time, you guys had reached out to me, another group had reached out to me. Actually have to do a podcast, the Trifactor. I believe it on Monday. So it was like, wow, this is getting real.
Well, we grabbed you first, right?
Yeah.
Right. Exclusive, right? No, but thanks again for coming. I really appreciate it. Because so when I messaged you that day, you were like, bro, who's this? Like, how the hell is this?
Yeah, well, I didn't know, a lot of people would say, hey, congrats. I got a couple of messages on Facebook and stuff like, wow, boy, wait, that's you doing that well. And then my brother told me, call people and ask him and stuff. So, some people recognize it. As you say, there's a lot of people playing this game. I didn't realize how many people, and like I said, it's the first time really engaging in the game. Because even last year, I didn't pay this much interest into like other leagues and join other leagues and wasn't involved at all. So this year, now I'm seeing like, wait, boy, this is like, this is the closest men get to actually being right there at the games now. So it's something that gives you more attachment. And from the business a working professional perspective, the guy who can sit down and play FIFA, you can play this, you can still watch football because everybody watching football. And reading the news and talking about it at the bars, at social events, on social media. So this year is something that is pretty huge. It's very huge,
Yeah. I've been playing this since secondary school for a while now. But I didn't know that there was this community. It was only when I started doing this content creation, then I realized there's Twitter, there's Instagram, but mostly Twitter. And then there's these Twitter spaces that go mad, right? It's crazy. Sometimes 200 plus people in one Twitter space. And just, people presenting their teams, want advice, chatting FPL right through every day. So I did not know it was so huge, and I would have met a lot of great people doing this. And of course, then coming across you is because I have a crew that we do this together with, and they would have said, hey, this is training news to it. So, all right, bam, and they send me the Let's Talk FPL link. Check it out. I say, well, all right, we have to get him on. We had to try and pull him in. And but it's huge. The community is huge. And that's why I would have started this series. I want to bring on different FPL managers for people to meet each other and see the different different backgrounds and who's playing the game and the different strategies they will use in the game, right?
Right.
So, well, we're coming on to the end of the review here of your review. So this is it here. We at game week 22. So let's Marco, as we like to say, what you would have so tell us your thinking here for 22 and what you're doing, what you think will bring you back up to that third place, because people keeping it warm feel, right? So
Yeah.
how you intend to fix this now?
Well, I once again I try to play a few weeks ahead, right? So
Okay.
my team right now is being set up for a few weeks. There's a couple of moves I have in the pipeline. There's a reason why I did what I did this week. And I'm gonna probably reveal each and every reason.
No. We don't need that. But just we rooting for you. Trust me, what you right back where you are.
I really appreciate that. For now, I had I think 5 double game week players in the team right now in Sanchez, Lamptey, Tellez, Dennis, and Ronaldo. I was kind of heartbroken when Lamptey and Brighton conceded today.
Yeah,
because,
conceded. Yeah.
I had 7 points. I dropped to 3 points. Lamptey came on and it was very dangerous.
Yes, he looked very good as usual. Looked very good.
Yeah, and he's a guy, maybe against Chelsea, they may start him just because they know they want to peg back Alonso one day, so they might start him. But regardless, when he comes in, he's a threat, because it's kind of tough. I would have hoped for them to get a clean sheet today against Crystal Palace, because it'll be tough against Chelsea. So I hope to get that clean sheet points with him. And then at Chelsea, at least get some attack in return.
Yes.
And some save points.
I feel you.
So
at least he would have gone in with at least 6 points and
Yeah.
a bonus into the next game, and then he get another 8 or so because he score an assist. I with you 1000%.
So everybody has the other 2 players in Alexander Arnold and Cancelo, so I don't really worry about them.
Right.
Tellez is my new. As you see, if you click on Tellez, he's owned by 1% of the whole FPL.
Let's see.
Yeah.
1 point. Yep, 1%. 1%. Correct.
Right. So when I bought him, he was like 0.8 or 0.9. A couple of people went ahead and did so. I know Luke Shaw is out, so he will start. He's on set pieces. He's a very good player. And if you watch Tellez play, and a few times he played Manchester, actually had clean sheets and played pretty good. So I actually hope that he plays both games and brings back some returns. As you see, he's very low owned, so that would definitely help with my boost of my rank.
Sure. Even if you get some clean sheet points, definitely will help. Yeah,
definitely would help. And then Bowen stays in the team because he's red hot. Lanzini is still in the team because Leeds, and he's still playing well, and if he brings back more points once again, that would help. He's another differential to the team. Jota, went ahead and picked Jota up. I took a hit to get Jota because Liverpool, I think, is going to score some goals. They're going to start back scoring, and if there's one guy I think is due for some goals, will be Jota. He had a couple poor showings in his standard where he usually puts certain chances away, and I think this is an opportunity. A lot of people at the top, they actually have Jota, so I didn't want them to keep clawing out, getting away too far.
Right.
Watkins is a differential. He's been against Tellez, so directly I hope Tellez is still able to get, if not a clean sheet against Villa, against Brighton. But I need Watkins to give me something as well. He's another dangerous player, and I think with Coutinho in that team now, it creates another weapon that could help Watkins in his scoring prowess. Dennis is like a noted earlier. Yes, he asked me about Dennis earlier. He is my favorite player right now. Watford team. He is in very good form when he's playing well. He creates a lot of chances. Very dangerous. He can pick up penalties. He can score for himself. He could create. And then of course, Cristiano. He's been in my team there now for quite a few weeks, and I'm hoping that he come good. I think he rested these last couple of games so that he could play and perform in the Premier League, because they know that's where they need to perform. Manchester United can't be where they are, and I think they're coming to that understanding. Ronaldo, I'm glad he came out and spoke about the whole situation, because as an issue that I actually, totally aware of, and I agree with him. This generation today, they're not like, oh, they can't take the same level of criticism, and you can't everything now. Everybody becomes, offended, and everything is an offense and this that. So it's a lot.
Because of the purse that they're making now. You guys talk to me. Who's you? I'm making so and so. I have this endorsement deal. Who's you?
Yeah, but guys back then made money to have endorsements as well. So that it's just a whole change in the approach of how these men nowadays, I would say, operate and move about and what is accepted. But at the end of the day, Cristiano as the captain, I would really hope he comes good, man. I
wish you the best. I really wish you the best. I made a huge mistake and I went for Bruno. Right? Because I realized as soon as Ronaldo came, Bruno Powers just go on. So I'm hoping against hope that Bruno could do something. Because I'm not a big Ronaldo fan. I rate him as an athlete and whatnot, but I'm not a big fan. So that's just me. I don't pick him at all. I don't pick him in my team. And especially when I saw he didn't score against Norwich, I was like, nah, you can't be serious in life right now. So I stayed far away. But I say, you know what? Let me try something different. And I brought in Bruno. So I'm hoping that could do something for me, right? So we won't keep it too long again. We're just going to get quick into the question and answer segment. I already have the answers lined up. The questions, lined up here. So a few questions from some of the community. Some people might know me. I know some names. Is so a good friend of the show, FPL Lens. He's one of the he's a big content creator as well. He I'm sure you're familiar with XG, right? He would have created his own algorithm, NetXG. He's part of a group called Net.Hall on YouTube, and they use stats and use a lot of as I say, algorithms and charts and tables. They will look at teams. So what they do, they will break down the midfield, the left side, center, and the right side, and will determine which side of each team is the strongest, weakest, which team has the best which teams have the best matchups coming up. It's really decent if you're into stats. Right, I'm now, as I said, now I'm getting into the content creating. I'm learning about all these different approaches. So this is Gabe of FPLN. So he asks, in these uncertain times, what is the right balance between playing the game week in front of you and planning? Now, I know you would have touched on it while we were going through it, but again, you seem to be a planner, right? But talk to, especially with COVID and whatnot, sometimes planning is being affected.
Yeah, definitely. I look at there's a YouTube channel called FPL, I think Injuries.
Yeah.
I would look at that, but in terms of the right balance, I think overall you have to know what you want now. Everybody has their own specific team, and this team have a specific value. Balance between the game week in front of you and planning, I think, is how you want to play the game. I play the game for the overall percentage overall. Some people, like I said, play for the game week, and that's why some people take a lot more hits than others. If like this game week I took a couple hits, but I probably would have taken those hits one down the road another time, and I take them now because I know I probably wouldn't go close to making a transfer or doing anything for the next few game weeks. So I think it depends on what's going on, because the reason why COVID is a big reason why I would have taken those hits, because Foden and the uncertainty with him, plus he also played against Chelsea, and then other players I wasn't really sure if I want to bring them in, because my long-term plan is to find a way to get Salah back into my team as soon as he's prepared and ready to go, and at the same time keep a competitive team now. So once I know the guys on my team who are ready to play, I would stick with them for this game week, because I like to show patience. But at the same time, I make certain moves, as I just revealed there, with more planning ahead, thinking about. So I think it really comes down to you and how you feel you want to set your team up.
All right, so that's Gabe there. So I will mix it up. We have some serious ones and we have some kicksy ones. So let me mix it up. So we have also, there's a guy. So there's this guy, Daniel Jalal saying, you may know the name, me or may not. He is second to you in the Wild League. He said he's a big fan. So he wanted to know which Obeah man you're going by, right? right? His second team wants to know how he could beat you, right? But no, it was more in the message, but he just wanted to let you know he's a big fan. Because when I said I had you on this, I was coming to have you on this show, he was ecstatic, as were other people, right? So, right, so he just wanted to know which will be about. So let him know, right, who you going by, how far down Maruga you go. Let me just,
It was real funny that he used that term Obia man because that's something my father would have called me a lot of times growing up. You know, he always called me Obia man, Obia man. So I guess I go see myself the man in the mirror. I just
yeah,
really
yeah, 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 yeah. Right. Just a little lighthearted. So those who don't know my international viewers, Obia, I guess necromancy, just a kicksy thing that we say in Trinidad. When someone does something and they're doing well at something, all of a sudden we like to say, "Oh, I'm doing Obia, right? Doing magic." Yeah, that's just something we like to. That's
yeah
like me. So that's like me. Dia. So he gave me three. I brought in Gray, right, from Everton. So I had some viewers on, some guys on the show, and they were like, "Why are you bringing Gray? Why are you bringing Gray?" Gray went on a 4-game streak, and they were like, "What OVA doing there?" And then
yeah
I was like, "You know what? I feeling for Gallagher." And that was the week when they beat City, and they were like, "Nah, what OVA you doing?" And then I wrote in Pookie. So you see, right? So we have one here from one of our friends from India, right, from Bangalore, India, here understanding football. So with the probable double game weeks being littered around for the next 5, 6 weeks, possibly, what is your chip strategy being thought of now? And then there's another one that we could tie into that really quickly. Another person asked for. I want you to do the two chip questions really quickly. There was another one that they were asking. Right. So in your opinion, so this is from FPL Trini. So in your opinion, what's the optimal chip strategy for persons with all the chips remaining? So I guess you could tie those two in one. I could bring up the other one again for you to see it real quickly again. Right?
we could probably take two or one. So this one first, dealing with what the probable small double game is being littered over the next 5 weeks, possibly. What is the chip strategy? Once again, that's one of the main reasons why I did some of the transfers I did today, right? There's certain teams that are supposed to have double game weeks coming up. I think you target players that you believe are the most not informed players, but each coach usually picks a team to where they would say, all right, in this formation, or we want to create chances for this player. We want to play like this because this is more beneficial to these guys that's playing right now. So Jota, I went ahead and get Jota because I believe Jota will try to spearhead that attack that Salah is going for the next couple of game weeks. And then Liverpool is due to have a couple of double game weeks coming up as well. Aston Villa is also due a couple of double game weeks, hence why Watkins is in the team and still in my team. I don't know if I got to like him. So I look at players and I try to figure it out. Now with the good chips involved, really looking at, for me, I wouldn't play. I've used one chip. That's the one wild card. I still have my 2 free hits. I still have my wild. I think the second wild card might be available now too as well. I still have that one. I still have the triple captain and the bench boost.
Right.
Now, I think these are not the best times to play the chips. That's what I think clearly ahead why I still have mine, right? Now I'm waiting to play my chips, but they're gonna be triple game weeks, I feel, coming up. I feel there's gonna be a lot more double game weeks coming up. And I think I want to wait till when certain players like Son is a player I was thinking he's a guy could go crazy. He hurt right now, that's fine. Salah. But you know, when Salah come back and get some rest, maybe then you set up your bench boost. Most times I'll look to play a bench boost after a wild card. After I pick wild card and I get everybody set up on my bench.
Give it a week and then
Give it a week and I'll look at my fixtures and I'll be able to tell if you have all the chips remaining. I don't know how you did that because that's I mean everybody for the most part is 1 or 2 chips. But I would hold out for the bigger game weeks that's coming. I'm not that interested in these. Ronaldo to me has the best game week right now with Aston Villa and Brighton. Hence why he's my captain. I would, if I want to play triple captain, I really want to play either Salah or Son. Those are the two guys I say I'll play it on this year, because Son in a double game week or a triple game week, I think, is a guy could rack up a lot of numbers, and then hopefully, nobody else is playing him as captain. They're playing either Salah or somebody else, so you also have a differential in a top player. So for me right now, free hits is an option right now, depending on how your team looks, because this game week I actually considered a free hit,
right?
Because I was looking at Weibo, I could have Kane, Ronaldo, and Dennis up front. And I was like, that's a real nice thing. But let me wait and see, because Kane are really doing that great right now. Ronaldo neither. Let me wait, because I just feel later, if I could stay close right now and still keep all my chips, I will do it. But with the strategy, I would say, is to first look and see what's best for your team. Second, if you want to do a bench boost, most times I would advise to do it after you do a wild card, because you could set up, pick your wildcard team for like the next 2 game weeks, so that your team is poor. Of course, you can play wildcard and the bench boost the same time. You have to play them a week apart. So you try to do it like that. That would be my chip strategy for that.
All right, taking that. So we have a few here from FPL Flowers, big fan of this show, one of the locals. I think he's 11K right now, so he's doing well.
Good.
So you want to ask here, so are you, or you would have touched on it a little bit, right? So are you want to take hits? If so, what justifies taking a hit for you? What circumstances, or is it a sticky, was it strictly a matter of gut, right? So I didn't even mention gut too much, but I know you keep saying, whatever you think. So I guess that will touch and gut, and then he had another one here asking, does FPL affect your mental health at any point? And if so, how do you cope with this specific to the game?
Well, first, with the hits, I'm not a big fan of taking hits. I actually try to stay away from taking this as much as possible. I took, in the whole in game week 22 now, I've taken 3 hits. 1 4-point hit, and then this week I took an 8-point hit. I felt the need to take it because I feel right now the pros significantly outweighs the cons, because there's so much excuse me, so much one I could have lost by not taking that hit this week now. I'd have fallen behind. So I think what justify taking a hit is what if you think the same thing, if there's more benefit than there is, then there's detriment to your team. So when I took that hit, my first hit was with Watkins, -4, but he came back with 12 points. So that paid off. That was a gut thinking that I'll watch him. I guess it's an eye test, so it's a little bit of gut. I was like, this man playing well. I think, I want to try. I'm going to take a hit because I want to get him in for this game, which was the Norwich game. He had a goal and an assist. And he had a couple good games after that. So I was like, you know what? If I wait and I get him for, just a regular transfer, the next, I wouldn't pay nothing, right? But I would have missed those 12 points. Game later, he would have missed 12 points. His price would have gone up. So then, at this point in time, I think the hit would have been justified, because instead of, I get him, he pay me back for the points, and I gave him for less money. So he pays me back with the amount of money he costs as well. So that is some of the reasons, some of the decision-making process of me taking a hit.
Yeah. And then he asks, so does it affect your mental health? Is it that serious? I mean,
well, I wouldn't say that affects. Yes,
it
does. It does affect mental health in a very positive manner. You actually look forward to the games.
Right. Okay.
When you're doing well, it makes you feel better, of course. When things don't go your way as such, some days it could be like, oh gosh, boy, like that time, why leave Cancel on the bench? Oh gosh, what kind of nonsense is that? Why didn't Captain Salah? And it's a little peaking and stuff. But I think for overall, this is more beneficial. This gives off a good vibes now about FPL that I think everybody likes, especially after the game on the weekend. They have the FPL show and people talking. You're always engaged, and then platforms like this as well, you see it popping up all over. So Yeah, it does affect your mental health to a certain point. But to me, it helps me to engage more in focusing on the game, and because it's football, it's not like you're just playing the game. You gotta watch football too. You gotta kind of be involved. So it does affect me in a very good way.
But there are some FPL managers that don't watch football at all, and they do very well. There are some guys, like Dan Bennett, very close to the channel as well. May have him on very soon, and he does not watch any games. He would just look at the content, stats, everything, and he's consistently in the top 50 or so always. So so it have some, but I can't fathom that. Right? I love to watch the games. I don't care if it's Burnley, Watford, I watch it. Right. So right. So we have I'll leaving the hardest one for last, right? This is a tricky one here. But it's a good friend of mine's from a good friend of mine that I chat to on Twitter. So let me see if I can bring it up bigger for you to see. Hold on. Right. Not sure if you can see too well. Hopefully. Right. That's not. Okay, read it out quickly. So this is his team here. I'm not sure if you've seen it too well.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Right, great. So his question is, right, his biggest dilemma is Guaita. He wasn't sure why he was benched today, and he was wondering if that was, well, I mean, you can't answer that part, right? So his main thing is he wants to know what's his route will be back to Salah in a few game weeks, because it will require him to have a goalkeeper of 4.8 or less, which is Sanchez, but Sanchez has a blank game week coming up in 24. So he just wants to know if you have any ideas or what you could do here to get Salah back.
Well, that's right. So that's the thing, right? It really comes down. I would have to have like control to see when I move around how much money is left. I have the same problem. I have Sanchez. I need to get Salah back, and in the next 2 weeks is when I need to try to get Salah back. So I have the exact same issue. I may have a different amount of funding, so I know I'll be able to get a keeper, but I'll have to take a hit, right? And which I'm very much fine taking a hit to get Salah back into my team. So for the next 2 game weeks, I definitely won't be making any transfers. And then my next 2 transfers will be Salah and somebody I've kind of targeted already. That's pretty cheap, but at the same time, I would need to get a plain goalkeeper in because I don't want to go in with Sanchez. So how he could do that there, the way you said it to me here, he already has Salah into the team. So he would just need to take a hit. 4.6. He has anything in the bank? I think 0.2 is in the bank, if I was seeing it right, to the top.
Yeah. Barely could see it, barely, but 0.2 in the bank,
If he takes it out, he'll have 4.8. And I'm not sure what is his options for keepers at 4.8.
Well, the best option right now is Krul. I was telling him that Krul, or if he went to wait on Lussell, by then maybe Lussell starting for Brentford, right? But Brentford defense a little shaky.
I wouldn't
Newcastle worse. I mean, Norwich worse.
I'll probably pick hold on to Gator. See exactly what's the problem with Gator if he was hurt, because he real good. But this guy who played today played real good.
Butland was amazing today. Big penalty save.
So I mean, imagine having Butler in your team right now. You're
goal.
You're right. So high. But I would maybe Butler might be less money than Gator.
Yeah, should be. I could check that really quickly. Yeah, should be. I just see.
Yeah, let's go with Butler, because Palace is actually a very, very good team. Quiet as it's kept.
Yeah, Butler's 4.4 right now.
Yeah, so I would just, if you're sure he's starting, I would just swap that.
Because there's nothing on FPL injuries. Because I have the site now, and there's nothing there with Guaita on it at all. Nothing.
Right. So
up to now.
Yeah, you probably just
maybe a bug or something, maybe something. Or Vera just has a crystal ball and knew Butler will see the penalty.
Yeah, but I'll wait and see, because Gaita is actually a guy I had my eye on, to be very fair.
Right.
To bring him in, so I wouldn't really just get rid of him. And that time, you never know, he might start back starting. But I need to get Salah back in my team too, and I also have Sanchez, so I have the same dilemma. But I don't make up my mind. I said if I need to take a hit to bring in a good keeper, I will do that. But that hit hopefully will pay off.
All right. So what I like to do when we closing off shows, I mean, you give solid advice right through. I want to thank you very much before we end off. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for making the time. Thanks for choosing us first. Greatly appreciate that. Right. Thanks for coming here exclusively, and of course, good luck for the rest of the season. And of course, we'll try to have you at the end of the season.
Yeah.
But before you go, so you've been given great advice throughout the show, right? But I want one solid piece of advice, something that you would have been using since you started last year and then you started getting serious. So something, it could be as simple or it could be grand. Something this one we like to always close up the show with one solid piece of advice. And then if you have any closing remarks before we go, anything you want people to know, anything at all before we close off.
Solid piece of advice for in terms of playing fantasy FPL.
Yeah, FPL. Yeah.
I think be patient. I think some of the best advice I could give is to be patient. Pick a team in your mold. That's how I pick my team. Certain players I like and I watch, and I would pick them based on what I see. Like I said, the coaches of each team, the reason why I can't play like the guy you mentioned and just pick off of stats, teams change every single other week, because from playing football, I know it is. A guy could catch fire in practice, and all of us, you see this guy, he coming, but he going to start the next couple of games because this guy out of form or this guy, the coach had a bust up. Something could happen where the coach could create situations for another guy to get a lot of opportunity. So it's a lot. I would say the key thing is to keep patient, have patience in the team that you're building, because as you'll find yourself breaking up your team every week and taking a lot of hits, running down points, and try to make sure you have guys that are gonna play. that sounds simple, but
Easier said.
easier said than done, especially if you have City players, because you want Sterling, you want De Bruyne, or you want Gunny Gun, or you want Mahrez, or you want Bernardo, or you want Foden, or you want, who you gonna play? Jesus.
Yeah.
And all these players, you had to know when they're gonna play, what form they're in, how they're playing. So you had to kind of pay attention to the team and how the team is evolving, who might be coming in and who might be playing. Because remember, we playing guys who are playing international football, Champions League football.
Champions League, exactly.
Different players will play at different times, and the coach will focus on specific competitions at certain times. So it's key to try to understand the DNA of the team that you're picking players from, so that you know what DNA of your team will look like. And also have patience. Just wait. Even though a guy might have, 2 points this week, 2 points the next week, he might break out the week after. And, the fact that sometimes guys sell guys quickly is actually work out in their benefit, because when the guy does come good, less people have him, and it helps to boost your game week ranking.
Yeah, solid. Taking that. All right. So, any closing remarks? Good there.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate being a part of the podcast. I know it's usually like 2 or 3 hours. I'm surprised I saw when you here, but that's fine. That actually was cool.
Yeah.
Overall, good job, man. I appreciate to see you guys starting the channel and trying to get some good content. So thanks for having me.
Of course, man. Cheers for coming through. So, of course, guys, my solid piece of advice as always: click that save button. Do not let your significant other distract you. Do not drink an FPL, right? Please. And as Dia rightfully said, patience, right? Don't chase the points, because as we took our time and went through all his match days, and we saw that his patience paid off. He did not just chase points. And if he was chasing points, it was differential points. He was not trying to be template. So again, guys, hopefully I can help you guys out. Hopefully you can avoid COVID. And of course, green arrows for the game already started. So we hope the green arrows keep going. All you guys who are Bowen, I'm not Bowen, sorry, Mope with lucky assist. We're happy for you guys and those who would have had Gallagher. All right, so guys, of course, we have AFCON fantasy content also. Please go check that out. Show it some love. We appreciate the support for that. We're trying to cover everything. As we know, AFCON is our practice run for World Cup. We'll be covering that as well. We're already in the planning stages because it can't stick and take too long. Of course, check out our FPL content. And I think Sunday you'll see us reviewing match day 2 of AFCON. So far, we've gotten a lot more goals and a lot more action. So again, guys, happy picking and see you guys in the next one. Take care.